One of the things that some leaders struggle with is how to get the employees to see the big picture. And that comes from leadership. It's the leadership of knowing that, how do I do this? How do I get this employee to see the big picture? You need to find out first what motivates them to see the big picture and how can they do that. Not everybody sees things the same way. My husband was an IT person. He did not get what I did. The same way I didn't get what he did. People would say, what does he do for a living? I said, there's a whole bunch of things on the screen. But it's okay. Because each person and each task is motivated by different things. I remember the time I said to him, we were going away, I said, why don't you bring something fun to read? And he had a book this thick. And I said, that's work, that's not fun. He goes, for me, it's fun. And that's what you need to figure out. How do you make somebody see that big picture? Find out what motivates them, how they work together, what things they like to do. And sit down with them and explain what your big picture is. Because sometimes you think you're explaining your big picture, but they truly don't see that. It's in your mind, and you see this, and all they see is this. You're seeing a mountain, and they're seeing a hill. You see a lake, and they see an ocean, and it's too overwhelming. So you need to make sure that your pictures are aligning together. Because the bottom line is that's how you're going to motivate them. That's how you can get them to do what you wanted them to do. And the biggest thing is connecting with them. Today, the problem is that people don't connect. I mean, yes, technology is wonderful. But the problem with technology is that people don't always communicate properly with it. Or they allow the texting or shortcuts or LOL instead of writing out full sentences to make things happen. But things get lost in that. It's communication. It's, saying to somebody, grab a cup of coffee, come sit with me. You want to drink coffee? Great. Grab tea, grab water, grab whatever. Come sit and let's talk for a while. Where do you see yourself in this company? Where do you see yourself in this position? What would you love to do? Find it out, because sometimes their passion is something that you can utilize so well, but you don't know they have the passion. You don't know they have the ability. Sometimes people go ahead and apply for a position because, they don't feel good enough about doing something else. Or they're scared because I don't have a degree in that. But you know what? There are people out there that, for instance, I'll use technology. They're technology whizzes that never, ever went to school to do what they do. Do you know how many multimillionaires that are out there that grew businesses without college educations? Without all those things? Because they had a passion and they had a vision. So what you need to do is get your employees to see that passion and that vision, and to see your passion and vision. And by finding out what theirs are, you can align them with yours. Because sometimes we tend to throw the babies out with the bathwater. They go, oh, he's not doing his job. Well, you know what? Maybe that job is not the best place for him. But if you really connect, then you could turn around and say, you know what? You're right. That job is not the best thing for him. But you know what? That position over there would be perfect.